Alright, DMs, let's be real. Have you ever been there? You're pouring your heart into a poignant NPC monologue, and your player's eyes just glaze over. But the second you mention a glittering chest, they snap back to attention. What if you could use that love of loot against them? What if you could turn it into a weapon and create a tense, unforgettable moral dilemma that your table will be buzzing about for weeks? Today I'm going to show you a devious little DM trick that does just that. We're going to weaponize treasure, turning a simple map into a crucible of trust, greed, and paranoia. We're moving beyond treasure as just a reward and making it the very heart of our adventure's conflict. In a lot of modern games, treasure is the finish line. You kill the dragon, get the gold, go shopping, and the adventure is over. But there's an older, grittier philosophy at the heart of the games like Old School Essentials and the original D&D editions. It's a simple, brutal principle. Treasure should start fights. Now, that doesn't mean your barbarian and rogue should be drawing swords over every single gold piece. It means that real wealth should never be a clean getaway. It ought to attract attention. It should create problems. It should be a narrative bomb just waiting to go off, not in the dungeon, but back in the so-called safety of town, around the campfire, or even within the party itself. Treasure should come with strings attached. Maybe its previous owners want it back. Maybe it draws the eye of every thief in a 100-mile radius. Or maybe it carries an obligation that's way heavier than the gold itself. This approach stops players from getting complacent and makes getting rich feel dangerous and meaningful. It's not just an accounting exercise, it's a story generator. And the scenario I'm about to lay out is the perfect delivery system for this. It's a pressure cooker for party dynamics, all cleverly disguised as a classic treasure hunt. Your adventure kicks off not in a tavern, but in the grime of a local jail, or the belly of a slave ship. Here, the players meet a certain prisoner. We'll call him Kalen. This guy isn't just some random pickpocket. The guards whispered that he was a notorious smuggler, a con artist who double-crossed the wrong people. Maybe he's a disgraced son of a noble house, cast out for his crimes. Point is, he's a known untrustworthy guy. He pulls one of the players aside and for a small price, a bit of food, a promise to put in a good word, he shows them his secret. He turns his back, and there, tattooed across it is a sprawling, intricate map. It's a masterpiece of ink showing coastlines, landmarks, and a single tantalizing X. Kalen makes his offer. He knows the why, the landmarks, the secret routes, the meaning of the weird symbols, it's all in his head. He'll guide the party to a legendary hoard of unimaginable value. All he wants in return is his freedom and an equal cut of the loot. And right there, the dilemma is born. The players have the key to untold riches, but that key is attached to a man they have zero reason to trust. Do they break a criminal out of jail? Do they invite the snake into their group knowing he could betray them at any second? He could be leading them straight into a trap set by his old crew, or he could just wait for them to do all the heavy lifting, then snatch the treasure for himself. The greed for the prize is now at war with their common sense. The first crack in the party's unity starts to form before they've even taken a single step. This is where you, the DM, start to tighten the screws. As the party travels with Kalen, you'll introduce things that prey on their decision, turning the treasure itself into a weapon with 5 sharp edges. Think of these as the 5 blades of conflict, each one designed to slice away at the party's trust. First is the Blade of Claims. That treasure doesn't exist in a vacuum. As they travel, Kalen might casually mention who it belongs to. Maybe the hoard includes ancient coins from a lost dwarven kingdom. Now, even if the party gets the loot, a powerful dwarven clan might show up demanding their ancestral debt be paid. Or maybe the treasure was stolen from the very thieves' guild Kalen betrayed. He's not just guiding them to the riches, he's using them as the muscle to rob his old partners. Suddenly, this isn't a simple treasure hunt, it's an act of aggression and the party are the aggressors. Next up is the Blade of Suspicion. Kalen is the perfect paranoia machine. He never does anything that's clearly hostile. Instead, his actions are always ambiguous. He suggests a shortcut through a narrow canyon that feels an awful lot like a perfect ambush site. You see him chatting up the party's fighter, and later notice that the fighter is suddenly very concerned about Kalen getting his fair share. Is he turning them against each other? Even with a small bit of wealth makes this worse. If a player finds a 50 gold piece moonstone, Kalen might casually mention what a high price it could fetch, planting a tiny seed of envy. Soon the party isn't just watching the prisoner, they're watching each other. Third is the Blade of Theft Attempts. A long journey is a great time for things to go missing. It doesn't have to be a big heist. One morning the cleric wakes up and their holy symbol's gone, or a key spell component has vanished from the wizard's pouch. The immediate suspect, of course, is Kalen, but he denies it and there's no proof. He might even hint that another party member looks guilty, maybe the rogue who was on watch. This can turn quiet suspicion into open accusation, forcing a fight at the campfire over a missing item worth just a few silver pieces. Fourth, we have the Blade of Curses. Who says the treasure is just gold? The centerpiece of the hoard might be a magnificent magic item Kalen has described in breathless detail, like an Afridi bottle. What he forgets to mention is that the item is cursed. The bottle grants wishes, sure, but it also slowly drives its owner mad or demands a terrible price. The map itself could be the curse, subtly cranking up the greed and paranoia of anyone who looks at it for too long. The party's greatest prize becomes their greatest liability, and the guy who led them to it just plays dumb. Finally, there is the sharpest blade, obligations. Kalen's a free man now thanks to the party, but he isn't free from his past. He might confess that he owes a massive debt to a dangerous crime lord, and a big chunk of the treasure is meant to pay them off. By taking this quest, the party has inherited Kalen's enemies. Or worse, the treasure itself comes with a duty. Maybe it was meant to fund a holy crusade or serve as a dowry for a political marriage. By taking it, the party has just declared war on the Templar or a powerful noble family. After a journey simmering with paranoia, the party finally arrives. This is the moment of truth, and you've got a few ways that this can go. The most obvious move is the double cross. As soon as the party digs up the chest, Kalen gives a signal and his old cronies pop up out of the shadows. It was a trap all along. He used the party's muscle to clear the dungeon, and now his gang is here to tie up loose ends and claim the prize. It's a straightforward but satisfying ending. But what about a triple cross? Kalen's gang shows up, but he actually fights with the party to defeat them. As they catch their breath, he turns and says, "Thanks, I couldn't have taken them on my own." Now, about my share. He used the party to get his revenge and the treasure. He's still a criminal, but he held up his end of the deal. Do they honor their agreement and let this dangerous man walk away rich? Or do they betray him now? Maybe the most powerful ending, though, is no betrayal at all. Kalen was telling the truth the whole time. He's a scoundrel, but he honors his word. He helps them, takes his share, and leaves. The real conflict was never about him. It was about the party's inability to trust one another. All the suspicion, the accusations, the infighting, it was all self-inflicted. The treasure didn't corrupt Kalen, it just revealed the greed already hiding inside the party. Their greatest enemy was themselves. This kind of setup fundamentally changes the game. It proves that the most memorable encounters aren't about hit points or armor class. They're about player choice and consequences. So I've got to ask you, what's the most memorable moral dilemma you've ever dropped on your players? Or, if you're a player, what's the most devious, non-monster trap a DM has ever sprung on you? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're looking for more ways to challenge your players beyond the combat grid, think about liking and subscribing for more. The Tattooed Prisoner is more than just a hook. It's a whole framework for storytelling. It takes the most basic player motivation, give me the loot, and turns it into a powerful story engine. By layering in claims, suspicion, theft, curses, and obligations, you turn a simple chest of gold into a real source of drama. You force your players to ask themselves what they're willing to do for wealth, and, more importantly, what they're willing to do to each other. Give it a try in your next game. Make your treasure dangerous again. Adventure on.